far as transferring data back and forth. So it's been around, it's just that it's recently starting to get its hands into the public domain there, and people are starting to find out that it can work for them. It can actually earn them the extra cash. It can actually make entrepreneurs overnight very rich. And people are just starting to get their hands involved in it. And that's why you see that it's a new item that's out there, or new services that's out there, and everybody's trying to get into it. But it's kind of hard because people are afraid of the computer, trying to get the technology down, afraid that they're going to make a mistake on the computer. So these things help hinder people from actually learning something on the.
And I was going to say that one of the most important things, like he was saying, people being afraid of making mistakes on the computer. I crashed 3 or 4 computers, and that's the reason why that's how my knowledge came about learning about computers. I have made mistakes, and I had to work my way through them to get where I am today.
And so the two of you are saying is that there's this fear that many people have of the computer, and of course I don't think that it has that much to do with in terms of the social status of individuals or the professional status of individuals. Both of you agree that a person might be of very, very high social, political, economic status, and at the same time that person might have a morbid fear of the computer. And well, now how would you suggest that they might be able to overcome that as a problem? That is that very, very intelligent people who, for whatever reason, have not really taken advantage of the computer. What would you say to them, Mr. Perry, in terms of how to overcome?
Well, each computer comes with games on it, whether it's solitaire or win mine. The best way to get a feeling of your mouse, play a game. And sometimes you get wrapped up in that game, and before you realize it, you're working that mouse around and you're hitting these buttons as if it was something you've done a long time. So games, I would say, would be one way of overcoming that fear.
And also, the computers today come with a good tutorial program, so don't be afraid to hit the F1 help button at any point. So.
And so what you're saying is that the opportunities are available, but first of all, people have to overcome a self-fear or self-doubt that they have. And even those individuals who are probably watching us this morning, who are well off and might have a lot of knowledge and information, still might have, are we saying still might have that fear? And so both of you are suggesting that they overcome that first by perhaps becoming involved in games. Very good. Now, when we talk about the computer, we also then bring into play this internet, you see, because I think that one of the most important things about the computer is that it does allow you access to what we call the internet. Let's talk about the internet. Let's start off, Mr. Perry, and then we'll...
Well, again, I said the internet's been around for a long time, but recently we're just starting to get involved in it, and there are very many success stories over it, as well as very many failure stories in the internet business. But I think that it's up to what you want it to do for you. You have to do your research. You have to do your marketing, see what it is that you actually want to do on this, and then make some kind of plan as far as what do you want the internet to do. Some people just want to be able to research and find information on. So it's what it will do for you.
And so, Mr. Collier, over the last half minute that we have here, we're saying that but the internet can do a lot of things for people.
It can do a lot of things. Like I said, the research that you can get off the internet is just unbelievable. I mean, just this morning I was researching some information about a particular artist's baby face of mine, and I found so much information it overwhelmed me.
And that's almost in every category. The only thing all you have to do is to click in the information, search for it, and it's all available there. That's the internet for us.
That's right.
Okay, very good. And of course, gentlemen, we're making preparations for our first commercial break, after which we will come back and continue our conversation dealing with the internet and the digital divide. But in the meantime, let us have our first commercial break, and we'll be back with our audience following this short break. to Mr. Collier and Mr.